Lexia with thekissingtree.org, and today I am wondering what you guys, the best advice that you've ever gotten for marriage or kind of the worst advice. Sabrina, why don't I go to you first?
Sure. Something that really stuck with me was something that my husband's uncle actually said. The key to a really successful marriage is to learn how to live with your partner's faults. And I thought that was really profound because I think, when you first meet somebody, you kind of totally fall in love with them and you're really enamored by everything they do. Even their annoying habits are like, oh my God, he's so cute. Everybody is just so head over heels. And then all of a sudden, 5 months in, you start to nitpick at those things that you once had fallen in love with. Each person is going to have their really strong qualities that they bring into a marriage, and each person's going to have their own quirks. And so if you can learn to happily live with and deal with your partner's faults, then that's something that will help you have a successful marriage.
Yeah, Melissa, what about you? Do you have any good advice or any bad advice?
Well, we had, after we got married, and I think before too, John's grandparents, they were married, at the time we got married, they've been married 62 years, and so we asked both of them, how are you guys so happy? How do you still love each other? It's funny because his grandpa, he's older, he was hard of hearing, he had lost his vision a year or so before we got married, and he just said, you just gotta love him, and just gotta love him, and that's all he kept saying. But he was really cute about it, and they actually were married 64 years before he passed away.
Oh.
And I just know that, I know they had a lot of, troubling times, but they always seemed to just fight through it and focus on family and trying to have that relationship with one another.
Oh, that's great advice. And Lexi, what about you?
Actually, it's kind of stemming off of that. It's perfect. The best advice that I ever got was that it's kind of a different way of looking at the relationship. Everyone always says marriage needs to be 50-50, 50-50. And Dustin and I actually don't look at it like that at all. We understand that we're gonna have good days and we're also gonna have bad days at, either one of us. But either way that it happens, we have to reach 100% no matter what. Right. So if I wake up in the morning and I'm just having an off day, I may only be giving 25%, and he's gonna have to step in and make up the other 75. We have 2 little kids, and I think that is also important for them to see that no matter what, we're always reaching 100% every single day. And I think that's
an
the most
interesting way to
part.
look at it, to have it, you both have to make the 100% as opposed to always splitting it even, because it's never even.
The saying that never go to bed angry?
I can't tell you how many people wrote that on our guest book.
I know, everybody. It's the most commonly given advice, and we don't follow it at all.
No. You need that.
I don't know about you guys, but if Dustin and I are having a little argument or whatever, I need some time to cool off, he needs some time to cool off. We like to take some space, really contemplate about what happened or what's making us angry, and that may take a day and a half. We're always civil to each other, but if we're still frustrated at night, I'm not just gonna give an apology just to give an apology. I want to be able to come to the table after thinking about it, come to the table with an honest apology or an honest discussion about what happened.
Right. Yeah, that's actually, I filmed about this topic on my blog once, and it didn't get a very good response. A lot of people were like, oh, you should never do that. What if you die? That's the worst thing you could possibly do. And,
that's the worst case scenario.
The worst case scenario is death. But no, Lexi, I completely agree. And Melissa, you're saying it was all written all over, graffitied practically in your guest book. And I totally get that. We have stuff to do the next day. What are you gonna stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning discussing that's not real life anymore. This isn't high school or college. This is the next day you have, take care of your kids. You have to go to work. You have to, function as a person. And so we have this thing, which is every night before we go to bed, before the light turns out, we look at each other and we smile. And so if we're obviously if you're in a good mood, it's I love you, and it's all that mushy stuff. But even when we're fighting, that's what we do. So Lexia, you're saying, I'm not gonna just apologize just flippantly, because even saying I'm sorry, that has to carry weight, that has to mean something, And so even when we're mad, we may go to sleep still not being you know, 100% okay with each other, but will, you know, look at each other, that light's getting ready to be flipped off, and will, you know, do a little cheese, turn it off, and it's like, that's enough for the evening.
Alright guys, well I think that you have given some really good input, and now I really want to hear from the readers. I want to know what your best advice is, but more importantly, I think it would be really great to see a ton of what, you know, the worst advice people have gotten. So looking forward to hearing all of your answers.